Hey everyone, it's Welonz. We are back in the holler with episode 5. Woo! Welcome to Scarlet Hollow, episode 5. If this is your first exposure to Scarlet Hollow, go back to episode 1, the first video. For the rest of us, some of you have been waiting for many years for this. For me, not quite as long. About just under a year. Still a little bit of time though, so I'm very excited to be back into it because I've really enjoyed the first 4 episodes, probably one of my favorite visual novels in recent years. If you're watching this as I'm uploading it, so the release for episode 5 is split into 2 parts. Only part 1 is out right now. There's only 1 week difference between the 2 parts, but the people who do play part 1 will have to wait a little bit and we'll have a little bit of extra time to discuss and agonize over whatever cliffhanger they're gonna give us at the end of this. Yeah, when I played episode 4, it was April last year. It's been just about 10 months for me. By the way, my character traits are hot and street smart. Yeah, let's really quickly go through the full recap. I'm not gonna read every single word here, but just to remember what's going on. We came to this town because of a funeral. My cousin's mother's funeral, my aunt's funeral. We met our cousin Tabby. She is very nice to us. Told me not to go to the rooms, which I remember not going into. I didn't wander around the place at all. And I remember Wayne telling me that I should wander around. I met Stella in town. She is a YouTuber, trying to get some footage in the mountains. Then we met Duke, and we started seeing some extremely strange things, like infected deer. And we had a whole situation where these creatures in the woods were trying to take us. Take Gretchen, Stella's dog. And they are weird. I don't even know that. A tongue with a little needle at the end of it. Duke's shotgun went off and he ended up dying. We reported the incident to the police, who took us back to town, but they don't seem too worried about it. They don't even go look for Duke. And Wayne, this corpse guy called Wayne, is following us. Welcome home, he says. We went to Sybil for help, and she says that she knows these creatures are called ditchlings, a sign of terrible omen and suffering to come. To come! Not the one that's happened, not Duke's dying. So it hasn't even happened yet. And I ended up staying over at Stella's place because it was really dark and I don't want to go back up the mountain by myself, which I maintain is a perfectly reasonable choice to make, but Tabby didn't think so. She doesn't want me to leave the estate anymore. I gotta return home by nighttime. And Avery was somebody at the, what do you call that, the diner place in town. We did end up telling them a bit about what happened. At first I wasn't, but then I did end up telling them. And they're gonna keep me up to date on the gossip around here. Weird creatures and all. Oscar, the librarian. His daughter, Rosalina, is a middle schooler, seems to be wandering around town and not paying attention to her dad. We were gonna go visit Reese, Stella's friend, but he has a helicopter mom who didn't let us see him. We decided to go to the mines to maybe check on Tabby, talk to some of the miners, figure out what's going on around here, but then Wayne shows up and is all like, I'm the only person in this town who truly cares about your safety. Don't forget that. I may have had my heart stolen a little bit here. He's my protector guardian of some kind? We ended up connecting with a particular miner named Isaacs. And because we were at the mine, we saw a young girl heading in the direction of the mine. Probably the kids were playing there, and hey, remember this little dude? Yeah, me and Stella decided to follow the kids in the mine, but not before telling my cousin about it, just in case, because it seems like it's a dangerous thing. She's pissed, but she ends up coming in with us too. No, I waited for her. I let Stella go on ahead. Charles Shaw, that's right. A man named Charles Shaw decided it was okay to use faulty wood for support struts, and the entire mine came down. This is what this old mine is closed now. Charles Shaw, maybe a name we should remember. Tabby threatening to fire people. The usual. Turns out there's a whole bunch of kids in here. Rosalina does say that her house is haunted. Be part of why all this is, why the kids are hanging out here. They end up deeper into the mines. There's some strange sounds coming from within, and we feel drawn to it on a primal level. And there are some strange hands, limbs. I don't know what was at the bottom of the mine, but we end up fainting. I think Tabby fainted as well, and Stella eventually found us. But we need to get out quick because the mine was collapsing, and very, very unfortunately, Rosalina did end up losing her leg in this incident. We saved our friends, but at the cost of her leg. Hey, it's actually crazy how I still remember so much of this just looking at these quick scenes here. Yes, there's two opossums. There's the mom and the kid. Janie is Tabby's... Is she the maid around here? She comes every so often. She is the pastor's wife, was it? And Oscar and Rosalina are not exactly in a nice situation right now because, well, the leg thing and also their house is haunted. Tabby and Sybil had some sort of a dealing with T. And we met Duke's boy, Beau. He's still mourning about his dad. We met Isaacs. He told us there's gonna be a strike soon because people aren't happy with their compensation and safety and their work conditions at the mine. We were connecting with them to try to look for information about Wayne and all that, but I don't think we got anywhere on that front. We hung out with Tabby in one of the houses she owns, which was actually a hilarious hangout because I'm pretty sure we hated each other at that point, but we still hung out. And we met the mayor dog around town, a very regal dog that I'm pretty sure Gretchen hated. We met Pastor Daniels, who is maybe a little bit socially anxious. Pastor Daniel, yes. If you'd ever like to discuss your beliefs, my door is always open, he says. He runs a church. We end up visiting Reese for dinner. And before dinner, we checked out his room, his very goth and emo room, full of his expression for his current state of life because he's very, very ill and his mom doesn't let him out of the house basically ever, just letting us over. Well, we had to leave Gretchen in the car and all that. And it's a very tense dinner. We can't even go out and watch a movie with Reese because Doc says no. And this situation is pretty... I mean, it's been ongoing for a while, and Reese is sort of thinking, well, if I'm just gonna be sick, why don't I just go do what I want to do then? Because that's living life. Not staying here and doing nothing. He's sick again. And the dinner pretty much just stops there. And there was something going on here. This was related to the mine, right? Something was that the mine going on fire in the back? Something like that? We were gonna go investigate the haunted house business. Brought everyone here. Avery and Tabby. Where's Kanika? Wait, where's Kanika here? Why? I had her here too, didn't I? She actually hasn't shown up. Has she been in the recap so far? She better be here. We found some weird attic around here. And then it was super weird because the moment we went in, it was like a different world. It was like the witch worlds from Madoka. And it was just me and Tabby. Everyone else was possessed. This was mega creepy. Wayne somehow came into here. And those ditchlings keep multiplying more and more. We had a court The sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. This was a very controversial choice because the ghost here says, hey, you better give me 10 years of your lifespan to make up for all the wrongs that I suffered. And both me and Tabby said no. We said hell no. Which means the house remains haunted and the library remains haunted. We just left, we didn't do it. It's a house! Sybil strongly suggested we shouldn't do that. Well, she didn't push any pressure on me because I was just visiting town, but she wanted Tabitha to do something about it. But I agree, I still stand by this choice though. This is not our problem. Plus, the 10 years of lifespan is... It's not like the ghost needed it so that he could get 10 years of life back, or he just wanted it so that he could stop haunting a building. Stella started acting really weird afterwards. And she just left. Sybil says that she'll answer my questions tomorrow. But the whole haunted house business was a lot for everyone, so we just called it a night. We just fell asleep. It's a new day, 4th day. Stella is missing. We're a little bit worried. We go around town trying to look for clues and stuff, and they mentioned, yes, there was somebody here. We talked about a pumpkin at somebody's house. Vaguely remember this. There was someone who didn't like visitors. Julius. Oh yeah, Bo was talking about a pumpkin dispute with his neighbor Julius or something. And we also visited the church, Pastor Daniel. He's talking about how his daughter has imaginary friends. Yeah. And there's a junk pile somewhere too. That seemed to be hinting at maybe future locations we'll end up going to. The strike! The mining strike. It was okay, it was just a few people there. Because we told Tabby about it in advance and she dealt with it a little bit. And there are some scabs. We saw Tabby in a rare moment of weakness. We visited Sybil, she gave me a tea. Which I'm not so sure about. She made me guess. Oh yeah, she was doing a fortune telling for me. From the tea leaves or something about death, misery, and whatnot. There's a cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight. She made me guess who it was, but I don't think we got a conclusive answer to that. We went back to Reese's, and Reese's house was a clinic because his mom works as a doctor for the town, and then I think they just found an old hospital wing that was attached to the clinic. Started looking around, and we found a weird symbol thingy. And Reese, turns out he is I don't know what he is, but there's a reason why his mother wanted to keep him locked up. I am alone and trapped with him. And suddenly, everything Dr. Kelly did is starting to make sense. Really tough situation for everyone for sure, but oh my god. What are all those little dudes coming with Reese? And we try to tranquilize him. But because we're hot. We didn't have to do that. And we almost convinced him that it was okay until Tabby just shot him in the face. And he ended up running away. He just runs away. We didn't end up killing him, because I'm pretty sure Dr. Kelly was gonna kill him. And it was a long, long day. We ended up just going home and having ice cream. I'm sure there's a lot you want to talk about, but we're both here. We're both safe, and we both had a long week. Let's just exist together. As your eyes sink, you realize that something smells off about the room. It smells rotten. Yes, Wayne visited me in my sleep. Don't look so frightened. I was just going to say goodnight. And to give you a word of advice. Tabitha won't be around tomorrow. Too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you. And you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. And there is our recap. And I'm surprised because they skipped over the Tabitha Stella stuff in the middle, didn't they? Before we had the ice cream. Because we noticed that Stella was missing. And we found her at the mountain, the site where her parents had a car accident. Because the whole thing at the haunted house made her think, oh, ghosts are real, so maybe I'll see my parents here too, but it was more her processing her trauma. And all this time, of course, Tabby and Stella, they were ex-best friends, more than that, and we got them to reconcile so that they're at least talking. I don't know if my goal is I want them to get back together again, even though I was previously going after Stella, but I gotta step back, okay? I gotta step back in that relationship, and it's becoming very possible that even though I chose to be hot, I'm just not gonna end up dating anybody. As you drift off, you think of Reese, out in the woods somewhere, truly free for the first time in his life. And then you think of nothing. It's time to continue your journey. I hope nothing went wrong with my save though, because I noticed Kanika wasn't anywhere to be found. Ew. A lonely piano refrain echoes through your head as you sleep. It feels like it goes on forever, clumsy and uncertain of itself, stopping and starting at random. But as your dreams start to fade, you realize the music is following you to the waking world, continuing even as your mind resolidifies and banishes the last few remnants of your dreams. Oh my god! When it finally stops, you're startled by the sudden silence. Why are you out of the drawer? You're awake now, cold and uncomfortable, your muscles stiff and achy, your head still clouded with sleep. You realize there is a concerning lack of blanket and mattress. There is nothing beneath you but hard wooden floorboards, dusty and uneven. Did I fall off? There's also a weight on your chest, and claws digging gently into your skin. Your heart skips a beat. You're greeted by two beady eyes, 4 you mean, staring down at you over the twitching nose of the opossum that lives in your drawer. The other one is crouched in the corner, eyeing you warily. You are not in your room. What? I'm not in my room? Where am I? Your lower lip trembles as tears well up in your eyes. They bubble over, streaming down your face as you lie on your back on the dirty floor, crying. Ah! The larger opossum in the corner seems unsettled, backing further away. But the opossum on your chest takes a step forward, resting a tiny paw on your cheek. It licks away your tears. Oh. You may have to take every vaccine known to man to make sure you don't get a disease from the interaction, but the kindness of the tiny creature is clear. Thank you. That or it likes the salt. Oh, thank you anyway. I'm not gonna smack it. Stand up and get your bearings. You sniffle slightly, wiping away at your tears, trying to gather yourself. Well, I'm still somewhere in the manor, aren't I? What? Why did I just wake up in a completely different room? What the hell? You stand, your legs still wobbly with sleep, the odd tilt of the floor adding to your unsteadiness. Where the hell am I? Wait, but if the opossums are with me and they were normally in my drawer, then we still have to be close by. The opossum clings to your shirt with its tiny claws, holding on for dear life. You must be in the Forbidden Wing. Already? You know it was him, Wayne. He wanted you to check out the Forbidden Wing, so he made sure you wouldn't have the chance to get sidetracked. This was something that we could check out on the first day, but I didn't choose to do so. So this is going to be our first exposure to it. The small possum finally moves. It carefully makes its way down the length of your clothes, as if afraid you might notice it if it moves too quickly. It hastens when it finds solid ground, scurrying to the larger opossum in the corner. The two stare up at you, not quite afraid, but clearly more wary now that you've risen to your full human height. Oh, the mom is so much bigger. Maybe they were watching over you as you slept, or maybe they were hoping you might be lunch. Either way, you're both going your separate ways now. There are two doors out of the barren room. One is a normal doorway, leading into what you assume to be a hallway. The other is a door that must have once been hidden, though the ruined state of the wallpaper has robbed it of its secrecy. You mean here? This is open already? Let's try calling. You groggily pat your legs before realizing that you're still in your evening attire. It would seem Wayne wasn't thoughtful enough to bring your phone from the nightstand. Or maybe he'd prefer if you saw what there was to see in this place alone. Without other people's judgment? Hello! You yell, hoping that Tabitha has yet to leave for the mines. No, she's busy today apparently. You receive no response. Investigate the once hidden door. There doesn't seem to be a clear way to open it, besides the brass circle where a handle should be. You didn't bring a screwdriver into bed with you last night. Even if you did, you'd worry about damaging the ancient mechanism. Oh, the flashback, the recap we got? They didn't mention too much on the family history, but wasn't there something about a teddy? And then, I really have to review all that again, but we had a whole family tree that we found in Reese's mom's clinic. And then there was some weird stuff about people dying early. Or maybe not. Hopefully you can find either the handle or another way out deeper into the Forbidden Wing. Look into it. You lean forward, peering into the narrow opening at what lies behind the door. It's your room. Oh! Okay, that's really creepy. Does that mean that somebody could have been eavesdropping or spying on me? Which means you'd be able to slip right back into the safety of the rest of the house if you could just manage to find the handle. You've always believed in working smarter, not harder. The estate is massive. There's gotta be a better way out of the Forbidden Wing than this. Really? But it's right here. And maybe while you're looking, you'll catch a lucky break and stumble across the key. Try it anyway. You push on the wall, it doesn't budge. You try messing with the metal contraption that stands in place of the door's handle, tugging and jiggling and pushing on it every which way, and still, nothing. But is that just a missing doorknob or is that a special contraption? I thought it was a missing doorknob. You make your way carefully across a slanted room and deeper into the Forbidden Wing. Before you was a long hallway, age-stained curtains fluttering in the breeze, flowing in through cracked glass. Weak sunlight illuminates the dust dancing on the air. An ornate entryway, its door long gone, breaks the monotony of the faded wallpaper, and a staircase looms at the far end. Yeah, when we were in the haunted house and saw the weird visions, one of the places that we ended up going to was a place that's in the Forbidden Wing. Look at the entryway. Oh, there's footprints down here. You make your way to the dark doorway in the middle of the corridor. Oh, wow. It's very warped. It's hard to imagine. This is not safe to live in. It's not. But who's gonna care? It seems like some kind of entertainment room. The sort you'd expect out of fancy rich people who wanted to show off. It would feel elegant, if not for the massive crack that runs the entire length of the floor. The air here stinks of mildew. You can see why Tabitha doesn't want you exploring these rooms. Why? Out of shame or for safety reasons? Because that's different. There's a large painting on the far wall of the room. From a distance, it looks like it might depict the town. Something else catches your eye too. A bookshelf, or rather, what's left of a bookshelf, hanging by a single rusted hinge. Its sagging shelves reveal some sunless space beyond, once hidden, now exposed by the rot of this house. Look at the painting first. Scarlet Hollow. There's a church. Founders. Something. I don't recognize most of these. Oh, town hall. Also the library. Is this our house? I thought our house might be like higher up on the mountain though. The painting highlights a number of old buildings and locales, many of which you've already visited. The town hall, the estate, the mines, and the clinic, still called a hospital at the time of this painting. The church, and then there's somewhere you've yet to see, the historical Callaway, Tremaine homesteads. Yeah, was that where Julius lived? The faded bronze plaque beneath reads, "In commemoration of Enoch Scarlet, head of the Scarlet Hollow Landmark Revitalization Project, let the past never be forgotten." There is some generational ghost things around here. Look beyond the bookshelf. You cross the parlor, testing each careful step along the way, and duck between the collapsed shelves of the old bookshelf. Oh my god. The space is dark, its features barely illuminated by the faint light trickling in through the myriad of cracks and holes in the walls. The wallpaper, a deep, exquisite red, adds a blood-like glow to the dimness. Someone collecting antiques around here? What is this ancient Egyptian-looking statue? Ooh. Hey, it kind of looks like the skull on Chloe Price's shirt. The walls are lined with ornate display cabinets, some empty, some still presenting their antique treasures. Nestled between the cabinets, a single tall bookshelf remains standing, its occupants dusty but mostly intact. But all of these are ornamental details. Your focus is drawn to an expensive-looking antique desk in the center of the room. Wow, there's still cups and maybe alcohol bottles here. Seems like someone left in a hurry. Top drawer. Mostly contains old-timey letter-writing materials, complete with a fancy dagger-shaped letter opener and a wax stamping kit emblazoned with the initials ES, Enoch Scarlet. Underneath, you find a pile of crumbling financial documents. Scrawled in neat cursive in every spot that needed a signature is the name Enoch Scarlet. This must be his desk, meaning this must also be his study. And at the very bottom of the drawer, you're surprised to find a face you recognize staring back up at you. An antique photograph of a young man, his blonde hair nearly white, against a dark sepia background. Teddy. It says Teddy. It's Teddy. He looks almost exactly the same as he did in your vision. Almost. There's a carefree look. You mean the vision that we saw when we approached that... What was it? It was like a... relic? In the clinic? There's a carefree look in his eye that seemed to have faded by the time he found his way to that hospital bed. Keep looking. Maybe there's a secret drawer. You notice something peculiar. An irregularity in the molding along the top edge of the desk, almost as if it had been removed and replaced at some point. You slip a hand into the drawer, feeling along what would usually be the solid oak of the top of the desk, but the space is clearly hollow, your fingers making light knocking sounds as they fumble against the wood. Fortunately, it's a very simple lock, and you have years of experience. This is so old, you could probably just take the whole thing out and break it apart. In moments, the secret drawer slides open, revealing its treasures. It's a bundle of notes. Wait, what? Oh no! Is this an actual placeholder asset? Uh-oh. Scrawled on the first page is a design you find familiar. It's the stone from that pit in the mines, its many armed designs scratched into the paper by an untrained hand. There are other drawings here, some of which you find just as familiar. The goat head carving from what was once the town hall, and the circle of figures from the clinic. And the Scarlets know about this then. There are notes scrawled in the margins around the designs, most either illegible or written in some language you don't understand, though a few words stand out. Prosperity next to the stone from the mines. Dominion paired with the stone from Town Hall. Vitality with the clinic. The stones. The stones. The remaining captions seem to read Spirit, Bounty, and Throne. All attached to designs you don't recognize. Stones for chapters 5, 6, and 7. Bottom drawer? The bottom drawer offers some resistance as you try to pull it out. It seems that it was locked, though the bit of metal attempting to hold it shut seems to have rusted to the point of uselessness years ago. It gives in with a sharp tug, rotting wood splintering softly somewhere within the century-old desk. Inside, you find a strange collection of glass vials. Medicine? No, it looks like there's paper inside. What? Their surfaces are clouded over, but you can make out what seems to be paper, preserved somehow inside the containers, a hint of writing visible at the edges. Yeah, open it. You reach for one of them, twisting the cork. It unseals with releasing a smell like an old pond, like decaying leaves and damp earth. You tug at the corner of the slip of paper, and it unfurls, the writing across its surface as crisp and clear as if it had just been written. To Miss Maeve, I know it has been several years since my last visit, but I do hope you remember the young lad who used to find himself at your doorstep more than you probably would have liked. I write now to you with the utmost... What? But the paper dissolves before you can finish reading it, as if it finally realized it had been submerged all these years, turning into useless pulp between your fingers. What the frick? So it's inside? It's a piece of paper inside a bottle and there's some liquid in there. Liquid? It didn't even say there was liquid in there. No. It just... Yeah. What? But there is. There is. It's unlikely you'll have the chance to return here, and the vials are too delicate to carry with you. Keep reading. You might want to keep some of it for evidence if we can somehow figure out how to... But no, it's unlikely you'll have the chance to return to here, though. So we should keep reading, right? If we could come back here, then maybe it could be evidence, but we can't. You open another. Miss Verena, trouble with tea. Your presence requested at... And another. Verena, know what you tried. Do not appreciate the attempt at subterfuge. Thought we both... Again, it dissolves. This is some communication method to make sure that only the intended people read it, I guess? But then why is it here then? Because does that mean it hasn't been read? Some of these letters are addressed to Miss Maeve and some to a Verena. All are signed ES. You assume these have to be from Enoch. Many seemed unimportant, just listing a time and place. You assume meetings between Enoch and whoever this Verena may have been. Verena? Before you know it, the drawer is empty, the floor around you scattered with drained vials, the air stinking of wet rot. Oh. Hey, if this was precious, somebody would have taken better care of it. Step away from the desk. That's it. You return to the hallway outside of the parlor. What footsteps? I don't really see footsteps here. But there are. You follow the path laid out in the dust. Very red walls. It takes you up a flight of stairs, the way down blocked by debris, and you find yourself on the 3rd floor of the estate for the first time. There are more footprints leading all the way down the hallway and into the farthest door. Move the boxes and away from the nearest door. The boxes slide out of the way with a bit of elbow grease. You push past them into the room beyond. Bunch of people that look like Tabitha, which means we've got to be related. The room is coldly empty. The large antique bed is made, its sheets ancient and dusty, but still somehow giving off the feeling of tidiness. A heart. For a kid, this looks like a really small bed. Even with cobwebs stretched between each corner of its 4-poster frame. Look at the desk. Overflowing with stationery. As you sift through paper, it quickly becomes clear to you whose room this is. There are stacks of bills in Edward Dean's name, filling nearly every drawer. And even once you manage to get past the layers of envelopes and trifold paper, you hit a permafrost of receipts. It seems she was doing her best to be meticulous and hold on to any scrap of paper that might possibly be important. Receipts? Literal receipts. Bills. Edward Dean is my great-grandma? Yeah, what was that whole thing about she was running away? Yeah, well... Oh, yeah, wasn't there the whole... There was a very real possibility that we're actually Shaw descendants because Edward Dean... Wasn't Edward Dean with a Shaw? But when you reach the bottom drawers, you find something entirely different. Love letters. Greeting cards. Letters. Small wrapped packages. Some opened, some sealed, some crumpled into messy balls. You open one of the cards. Both pages are taken up by a handwritten note. Tabby, hope you're doing well. Not a day goes by that I don't miss you. Hope Pearland treats you to your best Christmas yet. I'm not sure what sort of doodads you're into these days, so I sent a little something that made me think of you. I made sure they were the best shells of the bunch. Not sure how rare any of them are, but they're awful pretty, and they've still all got that beach smell. And make sure you put your ear up to them too. It doesn't compare to the real thing, but it comes close enough. Hey, Tabby mentioned wanting to go to the beach before, on our hangout. I remember, I said we should go and she's like, oh yeah, sure. She brushed me off. And in case you think that makes me a cheapskate, I make sure to send along a little cash too, so you can get yourself something a little nicer than glorified beach trash. Make sure you get Pearland to take you to the nice toy store, because that's where I'd take you, if I was there. If you get the time, I'd love to hear from you. I miss you so much, Tabby, and I'm always thinking of you. You can come out and visit me anytime. I know you've always wanted to see what it's like out east. I've made sure to write out my address on the back of this card, just in case you didn't know how to get a hold of me. Been missing you, my incredible, wonderful, amazing daughter. What? Oh, it's from Dad! Dad? All my love, Dad. Oh! Wait, why is this here? Was this stopped? Do you think Tabby ever even got to see this? Because I'm getting the impression no. You pull out another, from closer to the top of the pile. Happy birthday, Tabby! It's me again, your old dad. Wow, I don't think we've ever talked about the men in this family before. I have no idea who my dad is. I have no idea who Tabby's dad is. So, the big 2-0. Can't believe my daughter is such an adult. In my mind, you're still that bouncy little kid doing cartwheels on the front lawn, telling me what various sounds animals make, like you're the professor of animal noises. I have no idea if you read these, but I'll keep writing them, even if sometimes it feels like I'm writing them to a ghost. I mean, we haven't spoken in almost 15 years. You're a whole human being now, and I have no idea what you're like. I'd like to think we'd get along, though. As always, my address is on the back. I hope you'll decide to come visit me one of these days. I've got a guest room all set up, just in case. It's always ready for you, kid. I love you, and I always will, no matter who you turned out to be. Love, Dad. You know how when we try to think a little bit further ahead, Tabby's always been all like, oh, I gotta keep making sure the town is running, I can't shut down the mines because then everyone will be out of jobs and the town's gonna be gone. But in case if the town is really gone and the mine shut down, she does have someone who's ready to welcome her with open arms. There are years and years of these. The bottom drawer is almost entirely unopened envelopes, dated from when Tabitha would have been just a kid, all from him. You pocket a few of the cards. Good call. Search the closet. You make your way to the closet. It seems Edward Dean kept things neat and orderly, or as neat and orderly as she could, considering the decaying state of the place. You can't help but notice that these dresses look strikingly like the style Tabitha wears. You can imagine Pearl Ann sifting through Edwardine's old trunks of clothes, recycling moth-eaten vintage dresses for her daughter, in place of buying anything new. Poor Tabby. I'm just thinking about how Tabby has access to the Forbidden Wing, but does she herself ever go in here? Because she would have seen these cards too if she did. But the fact that she hasn't seen them probably means she doesn't go here. The only thing here besides her clothes and shoes is a box shoved off to one side. You pick it up. Child-sized overalls, striped shirts, a small pair of trousers with suspenders still attached. One of those little sailor suits boys from the 50s were always wearing. When you pull out the last shirt, a note is revealed, tucked away in the bottom of the box in a protective plastic sleeve. It's scrawled in almost illegible handwriting, written in some thick brown watery ink that's cracked with age. Mommy, I am in here too and I love you? What the okay. Your hands tremble, the note somehow making the tips of your fingers feel dirty, even as it sits behind a layer of plastic. I feel like I've seen the sailor uniform before. I can't remember where. Did Tabby wear that before? Maybe in some art? You drop it back in the box, once again covering it with the clothes, shoving it back into the recesses of this forgotten closet where it belongs. Well, I'm glad we checked the place, but it's kind of freaking me out. Middle room. Big room. Very broken. Crib. This space was clearly once a nursery, though no child has been in here for a long, long time. Check the bookshelf. The top shelf is occupied by antique picture books, Dick and Jane, books of nursery rhymes, ancient editions of Grimm's fairy tales. The lower shelves are full of educational material, from children's encyclopedias to writing practice workbooks. From the sheer number of learning-oriented books on the shelf, you get the impression that the children who lived here were not supposed to be as interested in fun and fiction as they were in diction and spelling. Your family may have been wealthy, but maybe not in joy. Oh gee, what made that so hard to tell? Just look at Tabby. Read a few of the books. Alexandra Scarlet. You leaf through a few of the practice workbooks, gently turning the near-crumbling pages. Reasons Mommy should take me and Mary Bell to the zoo. Number 1. We have been very good girls and have not cried for a whole week. Number 2. Mary Bell says elephants are so big and I would like to see one. Number 3. I think it would be very fun and Mommy would have a good time. Solid reasons to me. All are signed with a carefully scrawled signature of Alexandra Scarlet. Alexandra and Mary Bell, siblings? I need to look at the family tree again. You flip through the rest of the book, your eyes unfocused as the many practice sentences and letter copying pages flash by. But something near the back of the book gives you pause. In a section that starts with the prompt, "Today I," Alexandra continues with, "Talk to the boy in the wall." Oh, okay, there's a boy in the wall. One of these days, when we come back to the hallway, there's gonna be something in my face. You carefully approach the window at the far end of the hall. That sure is a cliff. There's nothing below the window but the tops of distant trees, the ground having crumbled away. The only thing stopping you from plummeting to your death is the straining foundation that still somehow holds this place together. I wouldn't stand there if I were you. At least for now. Okay. Let's go into the farthest room. Following the trail of footprints. The door was clearly meant to be hidden, but it's been left open. Is it the one with a million locks on it? Someone left it open for you. The room is darkly empty save for a rug and a few candelabras. The lack of dusty old boxes and rotting antiques mark it as distinct from the rest of the cluttered, forgotten spaces you've explored. Another door. You continue forward towards the door on the far side of the room. You exit into a short hallway. There are stairs here, leading back down to the lower floors. But there is also another door. Yeah, this is the million locks, and oh my god. In our vision at the haunted house, we were standing here before. This is messed up. It's hanging ajar, the many locks and deadbolts along its edge glimmering in the weak morning light. But were these open though? Were these all opened or torn open? The doorframe itself is gouged and splintered, evidence that some desperate creature tried to save itself from the room beyond time and time again. And we're gonna go in? You step forward. This was a prison cell. Everything about this place reeks of neglected humanity. The walls are covered in scratches, legible words mixed in with the nonsense of desperate clawing. The one window, set high in the far wall, is fitted with a thick pane of glass, as if the iron bars just beyond it wouldn't be enough to hold the imprisoned. There's some words on the wall here. What does it say? Oh my god. But it's something that was able to make all these scratches on the walls though, think about it. Maybe whoever was here, we're keeping it here to keep everyone else safe. You can't help but notice that the doll from your closet sits watching you from the bed, one eyelid drooping. It adds an extra layer of menace to the already deeply unsettling room. Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. Didn't you have something on your foot? Oh, property of Alexandra. Your eyes are drawn to the massive, almost letters, dug as deep into the brick as the cell's prisoner could manage, highlighted with whatever pigments were available. And then, one final detail grabs you. A metallic glint from the filthy, bare mattress. A doorknob. This is what you've been looking for. Was it left here for you? Wait, does it say property of Alexandra on the wall? As you take it, a sound wraps around you. Music. The tinkling of piano keys, played by a clumsy hand. They echo up a narrow staircase at the end of the hall. Oh, I feel like this is a bad. We gotta go. We gotta go. You've come this far. Clearly, you're meant to go just a little further. The piano was there when I first woke up too. The stairs take you into what you have to assume was once a servant's quarters. A network of cramped passageways hidden away behind the expansive rooms of the estate without so much as a window for illumination. Hey, it's the main theme of the game, the menu theme. But you persist and descend deeper into the bowels of the Scarlet Estate, the echoing piano, your only company. Soon enough, you see light again, the sun creeping in through the edges of a nearly hidden door. You're at the end of another long corridor. Its high ceilings and tall windows are almost disorienting as you step out from the cramped, gloomy stairwell. The music echoes mournfully in the vast space, a chorus of wind, adding a melancholic harmony as it whips in from the overgrown courtyard outside. You found your way to the first floor, but you've yet to confront your guide. Maybe they're telling me again and again, hey, this is your chance to GTFO and stay safe. No, go big or go home. The musician plays on as you move cautiously through the dark, the slope now so dramatic it feels like walking downhill, jagged remains of the floorboards jutting out like splintered trees. The conditions are that bad. Oh, my boy. Boy, you could have just told me it was you. The flow of notes finally stops as you reach an open doorway to what was once a music room. Wayne stands from the bench of a battered grand piano, turning to face you. So now you've seen it, Welonz. He makes his way down the tilted floor towards you. A breeze passes by him, carrying with it the smell from the wound that is his body. I hope you enjoyed the show. He stops just a few paces away. And I trust you understand the implications of everything you've seen. You may have to spell out some of it for me. It's been a while. There were definitely parts with Tabitha being kept away from her dad, and then somebody was kept prisoner here. If you aren't careful, and you put your faith in the wrong people, things could go very, very wrong for you. He's always been nice. At the minimum, it never seemed like he tried to hurt me on purpose. Well, we might not get to ask about all of this, remember? Ooh. What was with the doll in that room? She liked it. So I liked it, too. It was nice to see it again, after so many years. This is Wayne's body, but the person inside is someone related to the Scarlet family. Who lived in that last room? Wayne cocks his head almost playfully. I did. I'd been in that room a long, long time. Though my being free now is meaningless in the grand scheme of things, the town itself is enough of a prison that I might as well be stuck behind that door. But at least I'm free enough to warn you. What the hell? Does Tabitha know about all this? Remember they were dating before. She was dating Wayne before. Of course. Why do you think she invited you here? Tabitha definitely invited me to town for a reason. Let's not kid ourselves. It's not because it's to attend the funeral. She needs me for something. After being with her for a little bit, you just don't get the sense that she would be the kind of person that goes, hey, you're my last family member, I just want to get to know you a bit more. No. And it's true that we've bonded afterwards, but I'm just gonna stay silent. You say nothing. I've given you a glimpse into one of your possible futures. Whether you choose to believe me or not is up to you. But I urge you to consider believing what your eyes have shown you. Your freedom is on the line. You're still not telling me everything, are you? Do you want to be someone else's puppet, Welonz? I can guide you to where you need to be, but it's up to you to open your eyes. The witch holds some of the final pieces. Find her, pry them from her hands, and then everything should start falling into place. You have no idea who he could be talking about. What? It's Sybil, isn't it? The witch? Unless you're already starting to forget about her. Memory is a disloyal thing, isn't it? Physical, easily manipulated. But something being missing from your head doesn't mean it's gone from the world. I don't know who you're talking about. You'll remember when you need to. Is this about the tea? How many more do I have? Can I ask all of these? I mean, I wanna flirt too. What's with the dramatics? Isn't this all a little theatrical? There were things you needed to see, and I doubt you would have been interested in a private guided tour. Not when I'm the one who would have been giving it. So you... And once I helped you find what you needed to find, I wanted you to choose to come to me. To know you were truly open to a conversation. I was always open to a conversation with you, but every time we're with someone else, maybe with Tabby, then they always guide me away from you, which is fair because you are a walking corpse. But again, I've never seen you hurt me, and you've always been calm and just wanting to talk to me. What do you mean the town is a prison? You said earlier that you can't escape. I can't leave. No one really can. As it stands now, Scarlet Hollow doesn't like letting go of its prisoners. They may be able to cross the town line, but not without paying a price. Anybody? Everybody? That can be changed, though. It wasn't always this way, and it was never meant to be. We can put an end to it. How do I know you're the right person to trust? I think it's very easy for us to want to trust him just based on the fact that he's telling us, hey, don't trust everyone, because we implicitly associate that good advice with the people telling us it. But it's true though, like how do I know that you are not telling me things for your own benefit too? If you're still asking questions like that, I know there's nothing I can say that will convince you. But I will keep looking out for you, whether you trust me or not. Yeah, see that? He's very convincing. And I want to trust him, but I also feel like logically we should not place our blind trust in everybody. Did you need to carry me off in my sleep? A moment of weakness. I was impatient. I mean, keeping someone wrapped around your pinky finger via toying with their romantic feelings for you may be a way to control people. I liked it. He's silent for a moment. Good. You shouldn't do that though, it's not nice. We need to call someone about this. The police or the National Guard or somebody. Trust me when I say they wouldn't be able to help. The forces at work in Scarlet Hollow run deep. There is no one person they can arrest, no group of people they can blame and do away with. It is beyond the realm of flesh. But I know how to fix everything. I know how to keep you safe for as long as you live. That's a very strange wording. You can keep me safe for as long as I live? Would you consider yourself dead right now? Wayne is dead, and I don't know what's going on under that veil right now. It could be a fully rotted body or something, and you are clearly a Scarlet inside a non-Scarlet body. You're like a soul, a ghost in there. I want to leave. I've had enough of this place. I want to go home. I'm afraid that's not possible. One way or another, you'll be stuck here. And the more you try to leave, the worse the consequences will be. You will have to stay and face what's coming, but you won't have to face it alone. If I got on a bus right now and tried to leave, what would happen? There would be consequences, apparently. Whatever. Hey, handsome. You take a step forward. Wayne doesn't flinch as you approach, but you can sense a trepidation. He seems uncertain of what you're about to do. What are you? Yeah, you need to tell me what you are first. I'm yours, if you'll have me. Are his eyes ever glowing slightly a bit more? Oh my goodness. Wait, I'm just playing with you, okay? Don't don't take this too seriously. Is this flirting? Oh. You have my trust. You don't have to play hide and seek anymore. We can be partners. Partners. I like the sound of that. Wayne takes a step forward, closing what little gap remained between you. The unsteady floor causes you to stumble back against the wall, Wayne looming over you, his outstretched arm blocking you from escape. There is only him and you, locked in a near embrace. Wait, that's not what I meant by partners. Wait! I can show you. Give you a taste of what we could be. Of what I can offer you. He's breathing more heavily now. It's slight, but noticeable. He's excited, but trying not to show it. If you're ready. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, but I'm not into this whole necrophilia business. Wait, what? Seriously? Will this make me fall apart? Like you? No. You don't have to worry about this happening to you. Not if we do things right. I'm being rejected. But a fleeting moment with you will be bliss for us both. No pain, no lingering aftermath, but pleasure. You need to give me the full story on what you are first. Wait! If you're Scarlet, aren't you my relative? Bro, I am so sorry. I wanted you to be my confidant. You could be my protector, but only because I'm trying to manipulate you emotionally. Not because I'm sorry. I don't think I'm ready. Wayne eases off, his posture taking an embarrassed slouch. That's all right. We'll take our time. I mean, I'm not ready. I don't know if I'll ever be ready. But I think this behavior is a good sign of how gentlemanly he is too, because what if I said no and he was like, I don't care. I don't care that you said no. No, he does care. Okay, consent is important. Though there's not much of it left. He takes a step away from you, his bright eyes the only thing you can see through the ruined veil, lingering on yours. Before either of you say another word, he vanishes back into the shadows of the Forbidden Wing. Nothing left for you to do here, but leave. You make your way back to where you woke up and slot the handle into the secret door on the wall. It twists, and the door pulls back, and you stumble through your closet and back into your bedroom. You lean against your doorframe, relieved at once again having sturdy, unsloped ground beneath your feet and moderately clean air to breathe. The estate has gotten to you. After the events of this morning, your body burns with a ferocious itch to leave this place behind, to be anywhere but here. Yeah, that was, quite disturbing information we learned, actually. So the person that was locked inside the whole time was Wayne. While he was already Wayne? But he's out now. He's out now, and that whole story he hasn't really told me about. He just wants me to say, hey, this is what happened to me. Do you want this to happen to you? If not, then do the thing with the stuff. Oh, I love how the ditchlings are still around here. Hey! 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 You leave in a haze, mindlessly grabbing clothes and an uncharged phone, barely even noticing your surroundings as you rush outside. The morning's revelation seizing your body and mind alike with a suffocating grip. The cell, the doll, Wayne's insinuation that Tabitha has known about all of this, and even more, that she has partaken willingly in your family's crimes. Not only that, but she has designs for you. Is it true? I can absolutely see it being true. It doesn't take much for me to believe that. She might also have a really good reason for it. Or I very desperately hope she does. Don't just immediately get mad. Tabitha deserves a chance to explain herself. She is your cousin after all. You'll just tell her everything you saw, and surely the two of you can have a healthy and productive conversation and get to the bottom of things. Right? No, I'm not so sure anymore. Maybe going to hear her side of things directly is your best course of action. Maybe we should talk to Stella or somebody else first. Wayne said I needed to see the witch. I'm not going to the police. The police are trash. But Sybil... Wayne said go see the witch. But we also don't trust her if she's been tampering with our stuff, so I feel like I want to go see Tabitha. And, you know, maybe Tabitha needs to know about all the stuff with her dad and all that too. I need to see Tabitha. Maybe there's an explanation for what I've witnessed. Although I also feel like this is falling into the trap. You need to see your cousin. She's the only person who can possibly offer a satisfying answer to the horrors of this morning. The events of this morning beg for an immediate confrontation. By the time you notice where your legs are taking you, you're already en route to the Scarlet Mines. Yeah, because we spent so much time building up this relationship, and it was difficult. It was difficult because Tabitha is so prickly, and now we wanna believe she's good and all that. And I don't necessarily think she's responsible for stuff that happened a million years ago, but I absolutely think she knows about it. You stumble down the road, your panicked thoughts directing themselves as a pointed arrow towards your destination. Things will make sense again, just as soon as you get where you're going. You hear it though? You hear the ditchlings? They're whispering everywhere. There are no picketers outside the mine today. The only sound is a constant low industrial clanking of unending productivity. The only sign of life, the slow-moving machinery beyond the rickety chain-link fence. The Scarlet Hollow mines are ticking along, as they always have. Sorry, Wayne, I didn't listen to you. There's nothing here to stop you from seeing your cousin. Here you are, outside of your cousin's office. The only thing left to do is go inside. Calm. You want to start the conversation calmly, right? You walk up to Tabitha's trailer and knock on the door. You wait for a moment. What is it now? Come in. This never fails to get a laugh out of me. I thought we wouldn't see you today. I'm glad we got to see you. Tabby? You enter her cousin's office to find her seated at her desk, shotgun in hand. Oh god! Cleaning its mechanisms with focused intent. You're more than familiar with this firearm. It was only last night that you saw your cousin use it to deadly effect. On Reese? Bet you're glad you didn't have to wander through a crowd of angry miners to get here. You have me to thank for expertly diffusing the situation and getting everybody back to work. Except, of course, the people who started the whole mess. They can go cause trouble at some other mine. Probably all spies from some union anyway. Tabby, will talk about your union-busting tendencies another day. So what made you decide to come bother me today? You don't have to tell her everything. Maybe it's best to keep the details of what you know and what you've seen private. Could you not be cleaning a gun while we're doing this? Wayne did kidnap me. As much as I'd love to start crying here, I'm gonna take advantage of this. I've been doing some research on our family. There's some things we need to talk about. Okay. What do you want to talk about? Oh my god. You don't need to lay out evidence, just tell her what you want to tell her. Which ones do I not want to tell her? Actually, I feel like I want to talk about everything. I don't know what's... I don't know what's gonna set her off, but look at her, she's a little bit more guarded already. Her expression. And her ancestors here. Previous mine owners watching over her as she deals with me. Start below the belt. I found these letters from your dad stashed away in a drawer. My... dad? But... why would he... No, you're wrong. He's never sent me anything. He's not that kind of person. I don't want to pick out names immediately. Sometimes if we point fingers too prematurely, they could backfire on us. There are a lot more too. Years worth. You slide the cards you took from Edward Dean's room across Tabitha's desk. He... wanted me to visit? There is a glimmer in Tabitha's eye, just for a second. But she blinks it away, anger flooding back in. This doesn't mean anything. Pearl Ann knew him better than I ever did, and she never had a good word to say about him. Not one. Well, are they divorced? That's... yeah... It's easy to send letters once a year. It's easy to write little notes and stupid kitschy cards to someone you don't know, pretending it's someone you care about. But he didn't come back, did he? Could he have? Could he have? What's the official story on that? Did we ever talk about this before? He just left and ran away. Pearl Ann was protecting me. She knew what he was really like. What if she didn't know better? What if he's still out there? What if he wants to see you? We could find him after the funeral. Why? Why are you doing this? I haven't thought about him in so long. I was over it. Do you even know how bad it used to be? Seeing other kids with their parents and knowing one of mine decided he didn't love me enough to stick around? That's what Pearl Ann told you. Anyway, is that why you came here? To show me this and see if I'd cry? Is that it? No. She didn't actually ask me where I found the cards. So she doesn't know that I went to the Forbidden Wing yet. I feel like if she did, she would be immediately pissed. I found our family medical records yesterday. Oh, God, you're such a snoop. No, it was in the clinic. Andrew Charles Scarlett was a stillbirth and Grandma Eddie only had daughters. Yet she had young boys' clothes in her closet. Oh! Yeah, I don't remember the tree well enough to put that together. Oh, there was a sailor uniform and then the Mommy, I'm still in here. No, I'm in here too and I love you. What the frick? Ah, but the closet is in the Forbidden Wing. The records say Teddy died in the mine collapse, but a vision showed me that he lived. And it's not like they even recovered a body. Another vision, huh? Almost none of the miners were recovered. They were buried under tons of rock. It just wasn't feasible. And people took advantage of that. There was a guy who briefly showed up, claiming to be Teddy, but he was a grifter. He got chased out shortly after. If your vision was showing you anything, it was that. It's a practiced lie, but a lie all the same. She actively avoids thinking about this. Gotta break it down and just show her so much evidence that she can't not accept it. This one I kind of want to... Oh, her demeanor just changed. Andrew Charles Scarlett was a stillbirth, and Grandma Eddie only had daughters after, yet she had young boys' clothes in her closet. And a note. Mommy, I'm in here too and I love you. Wait a minute. Where did you find that stuff? Did you go into the Forbidden Wing? The one that's forbidden? Do you want to fall through the floor and die and get tetanus? Jesus, I can't leave you alone for 2 seconds. Oh, did you care about my safety? Not because I'd find some weird stuff? Whatever. That's weird and freaky. But it's just old stuff of hers, and she's not around to defend herself and give us what I'm sure is a perfectly reasonable explanation for, that. Honestly, she might have just gone crazy after the stillbirth. People do that, right? There. A reasonable explanation. Tabby, we have to push her a little bit to get her talking. She's a very difficult person. On stone carvings? You fill Tabitha in on the stone you found last night, the one that gave you the vision about Teddy. The visions feel important. Something is slowly being communicated to you, though you don't have enough of a picture to know exactly what. So you're suggesting there are more, and I assume implying that we should go looking for them. Do you want more seizures? You want brain damage? What if the next one gives you an aneurysm? You don't know. And that's ignoring the fact that there's always some insane nonsense going on around them. That's also bad. There is a nervous waver in her voice, a darting of her eyes. She's hoping you won't pursue this line of thought. Maybe it is for your sake, like she says. Maybe not. I found drawings in Enoch's desk. He had something to do with them, and there are definitely more, which I'm pretty sure you know about this already. Did I bring it with me? I did. You take out the drawings. Tabitha glances quickly down at them. Just enough to acknowledge they've been placed there. But her eyes don't linger. They want to be anywhere else. I thought I put it down on her desk. We don't know that. I have no reason to suspect these other ones ever got made. And I don't know that Enoch made these drawings. They could just be something you found online for all I know. Or you could have drawn them based on something else. I don't know. It's not like he's around to explain himself. I feel like there's a lot of resentment based on the stuff she says too. Resentment to her ancestors. It's not like they're around to explain why anything is the way it is. But whatever's happening, she's doing it. Getting a little bit panicky though, her line of reasoning is not as strong anymore. Hey, you could have just found them online. You're trying to distract me from the fact that you're obviously still trying to go after the damn things, even though they could kill you, for all you know. She's no longer able to hide her panic. You're close to something she doesn't want you to see. You don't need to lay out anything else, just tell her what you want to tell her. The cell. Enoch, the cell. There was a cell, Tabitha. In the forbidden wing. Your cousin visibly bristles, though she doesn't say a word. But it's clear to you she knows about the cell. Of course she does. Yes, we saw it in that vision. You'd know it. It was the same cell we saw a vision of on Wednesday. The one with Avery. Avery? Wait, hold on. You're taking what we saw in some dead guy's dream as evidence? None of that was real. I thought that was obvious. Even if there was any truth to it, you can't know what the truth might have been. Not with all the, you know, imagery or whatever. There were unicorns. Besides, anything you found in the Forbidden Wing is ancient history. And I thought we both agreed that the past should stay dead. She's falling back on her usual defensiveness, trying not to outright lie. But her nerves are starting to show. That might have been a bad one. I want to talk about Enoch. Enoch, huh? It's not always worth digging up the uglier parts of the past, Welonz. Usually they're buried for a reason. She wouldn't have seen the vials on his desk because it's only for one person to see. You do your best to recount what you found in the vials hidden in Enoch's desk. Tabitha nods along, disinterested or at least pretending to be. So you opened a bunch of old vials, which had been preserving old letters of his for whatever reason, and you didn't really understand what they were saying because it was half a conversation from about 100 years ago, and then they fell apart. And you came here to tell me about it. Okay. She wasn't listening to you. She wasn't listening, so she wouldn't have to lie. Oh, I thought Wait, we're getting there. His relationship with Teddy. We talked about the prison cell. Found a photograph of Teddy in his drawer. Do you think he loved his brother? Probably. That doesn't seem like it would be the most important thing we could be talking about right now, Welonz. Well, I have reason to believe Teddy didn't die in the mine collapse. I think he was kept in the estate. Alright. So you found a family secret. Yes. Teddy survived. Right, the records said that he died before or something, right? But then the vision we saw, he was not dead. But back then people weren't so nice about, what's the word these days? Disableds? As they are now. Just a product of the time. Yes, it's sad. But there's nothing we can do about that now. Everyone involved in that decision is dead. What about Enoch's interest in the occult? You explain as best you can the arcane nature of everything you found in Enoch's study. Tabitha lets you trail off, almost like she's waiting for the point of your ramblings, but is seemingly ultimately unimpressed. Oh no. I take it you don't really know much about what rich guys were into when great-great-grandpa Enoch was in his prime? There was a whole spiritualism movement, then the crazy guy, Crowley, with the magic? Rich people love that guy. Not that they necessarily say it publicly, especially not in a God-fearing community like this one. But I guarantee a bunch of old money families have their own versions of Enoch's collection from when this stuff was in vogue. And do you know why I know all this? Because Grandma Eddie told me. Everyone in the Scarlet family knows Enoch was into some weird stuff. None of us care. Whatever he's got in there is just old junk. Feel like she's slipping away from me. She's slipping away. How can you be so sure? With everything going on in town, don't you think all this could be connected? Tabitha lets out a heavy, exasperated sigh. What would it even change if that was the case? He's still dead. Feel free to get in touch with him via Ouija board if you really want to know. But I just don't care enough to devote much thought to it. Honestly. You know I have a mind to manage, right? How much more of my time do you plan to waste by playing Nancy Drew? Okay, I'm trying to think of what is the most damning thing that's gonna, like, set her off here. We need something with evidence. I want to talk about the boy in the wall. The boy in the... What? Is that a movie or something? I think Andrew Charles Scarlett wasn't a stillbirth. I think Edward Dean hid him away and he's this boy in the walls as Alexandra used to talk to. Yeah, because the rooms were right next to each other, right? Alexandra... That practice room, writing practice room, was next to the prison cell. It's Charles! His middle name is Charles! Like Charles Shaw. I think Andrew Charles Shaw wasn't a stillbirth. I think Edward Dean hid him away, and he's this boy in the walls Alexandra used to talk to. This pairs well with the other thing we mentioned before. Do you have any idea how crazy you sound right now? What boy in the walls? Where did you see this? Why are you acting like this is shared information? Okay, let me try to make sense of this. You're saying that some dead kid was hidden in the walls of the estate, and also our great Aunt Alexandra was talking to him through the walls. Welonz, I'm afraid I do not care. All those people are dead and gone. What does it matter if great Aunt Alexandra was hearing voices? And even if there was a boy, what does it matter? He's dead at this point too. And anyone responsible for putting him there is dead. You're getting worked up about ghosts. We've dealt with enough of those this week, don't you think? That was a deflection. You know one when you see it. Huh, there's a pattern that's forming from the way she chooses to deflect from topics. It's always about how it's already in the past, whatever, it's not our fault anymore, which explains why she had such a strong reaction to Charlie Shaw, the ghost, at the library, trying to make us take responsibility for something that we didn't do, but our ancestors did. She just keeps saying, hey, I didn't do anything. Actually, I'm done. You're talking around something. I know you are. And I'm out of patience. Whatever it is, just say it. Say it to my face. I don't think you've done anything wrong. Then why barge into my office like this? If I didn't do anything wrong, why does it feel like you're trying to accuse me of something? I want you to tell me what you know. You clearly know things that you're not sharing with me. I'm a Scarlet too. Why am I here? Emotional appeal? Yeah, the town's falling apart. Why don't we just let it go? Come with me. Tabby will go somewhere else. We're family, Tabitha. Doesn't that mean something? No. No. She's here because of family. Accusation? Ooh, I like this one. It's not necessarily accusatory. Well, these are not as bad as I thought it was. It's not like I'm saying she's a crazy murderer. Whoa, I think that you're just like your mom. There's something that's been confined within the walls of the estate, something our family has been feeding over the years. Hey, even if we don't choose these options, it's nice to know what maybe our protagonist might be thinking about right now. Enoch Scarlet isn't actually dead. Okay, maybe not. I'm supposed to be the next person in the walls. Ooh. Our family made a deal with an evil witch to keep the mines running forever. Okay, not all these are gonna be right, but it's some ideas, some theories. You brought me here to kill me. She saved me multiple times though, and she seems to genuinely care about my physical well-being. I think you're working with Wayne. Actually, the accusatory ones I think are maybe better for Tabby than trying to emotionally appeal. This is more concrete. I think there have been a lot of fake death certificates, and I think we both know where all those missing Scarlets wound up. Oh, I really want to go back and see that medical history thing again from last episode, because there were a lot of dead people and inconsistencies? What? In that creepy room you found? Is that what you're suggesting? That we're not only an entire family of liars, but kidnappers? What a wonderful accusation to levy against your own family. People you've never even met, without whom you wouldn't even exist. Tabitha waves her hand, motioning desperately for everything to stop. Our family has done terrible things, Welonz. Is that what you want me to say? Is that what you want me to admit? Fine, I admit it. But I'm part of that family you hate so much. And those terrible things were all done for a reason. There's a legacy. There's a whole economy at stake here. The mines have to keep running. They put food on people's tables, people who otherwise wouldn't get to eat. There are entire generations here who have gotten to lead decent, comfortable lives because the mines keep running. And don't you dare try to tell me how hard the work is. I know how hard it is. But this isn't just the miners we're talking about. It's their wives. It's their kids. Oh, Tabitha, you don't have to shoulder all of that on. Every single person you've met this week, even the ones who hate me, all of them depend on me keeping the mines running. And the only way they've kept running has been through the suffering of a handful of people. A handful of Scarlets. Tabitha's voice has become gradually quiet, mournful. Isn't it worth that little bit of pain if it keeps the wheels turning? Just for another decade? Or two? Just a little longer. She slides slowly down in her chair, deflating, as if collapsing under some weight. She lets out a long, pained sigh. Fuck. Fuck! Forget about all of this. You need to find the rest of those stone carvings, right? I know where to find more. So you did know. We'll go together. The last two Scarlets, right? She can't hold it together anymore. The cracks in her facade of icy stoicism have become too much. It breaks completely, and the tears finally flow. I guess I didn't realize how tired I was, dealing with this on my own. Oh, Tabby! I knew it! Tabby... You need to tell me more. What is going on here? You haven't told me anything yet. So, talk to me, Tabitha. What is actually going on? You clearly know things that I don't. I'm not used to talking about this stuff. Don't rush me. It's probably just better if you see most of it for yourself anyway. But you can trust me now. I mean it. It's okay. You're not alone anymore. Tabitha glances away, hiding a fresh bout of tears. Stop being all nice. I can't stand it. She's not used to opening up to anybody about anything. She's so used to just fighting the lone fight. What the hell did she say? Oh shoot. Come on, we're going. Just want to see what she said so far about what the hell was happening. She's trying to keep the mines running, no matter what. And that depends on a few Scarlets suffering. So she's actually making this big self-sacrifice here, not just herself, but our whole family. And yet people in the town sometimes even hate us for it because we're not paying them enough, blah 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 blah. Ah, but keeping this mine running, is it really so? If the town dies, the people will go elsewhere. Ah, but then there was that complication. People can't leave? Physically cannot leave? Wayne is not telling us much either. Oops, did I accidentally click twice just now? No, I didn't. You leave your cousin's office together. Her usual tense posture has melted into furtive exhaustion, the look of a cornered animal at the end of a hunt, ready to strike out and defend herself with all she has. Oh, girl. You start towards her car. Oh, but you don't make it 2 steps before you're met with an unfortunately familiar face. Hey, excuse me. Ma'am? What are you doing here? What? What do you want? So sorry to bother you, Miss Scarlet, but I was actually here to, well, you see, I'm here on police business regarding Welonz. Could you speed this up, please? I'm here to apprehend the suspect. What? The suspect? My cousin. My cousin? Officer, I assume you haven't somehow forgotten who I am in the last 2 seconds? No, ma'am. Tabitha Scarlet, owner of the Scarlet Mines. Of course I know who you are, ma'am. Then you must know it wouldn't be a very good idea to test my patience by threatening my last remaining family member with an arrest. Do you know that? Affirmative, ma'am. But I don't serve the Scarlets. I serve this town. And being a Scarlet by blood doesn't protect anyone from the law. Oh, I didn't realize you were so into justice. Is this still about the Duke thing? Okay. So you're going to arrest my cousin anyway. On what charges exactly? I'm still investigating the death of Duke Calloway, and your cousin is the prime... So you have no evidence? I have plenty of... The officer's radio crackles to life.
Franklin! Pick up already! We ain't got all day, boy!
Sheriff, I'm actually just in the middle of a discussion with Miss Scarlet, trying to apprehend... Your thug is trying to arrest my cousin on false charges.
Everybody quiet! I don't want to hear it. We've got a situation we need you for, Franklin. So get down to the farms pronto. Got ourselves a possible 187 brewing.
What's a 187? They're talking about murder. 10-4. How lucky, officer. Because let me tell you, if you laid a single hand on Welonz's head, I would not have rested until I had your badge in my hand and your ass on the curb. She's also so protective of me during these situations. We're actually heading out that way anyway. Mind giving us an escort? We can follow along right behind you. The farms... Wait. The farm? The farms. That's where the next carving is. Miss Scarlet, this sounds like it might be a very serious situation. I don't think it's wise for any civilians to get involved.
Franklin, quit pussyfooting around up there. I don't give a shit if somebody follows along. We need you here, ASAP.
There's a murder! Someone died! Fine. What the sheriff says goes, but bring your cousin. We'll finish this later. Why are you suddenly acting all... like you're actually a cop? The officer hurries back to his car, leaving you with your freedom preserved, at least for the time being. I hope me doing that means something to you. It does. I don't know, I want to say I just want to let them investigate me, but we don't have that kind of time. And we don't know what the cops around this small town are like. They might just make me the killer somehow. You said I could trust you, right? I want to trust you. I want to trust you more than I trust Wayne, okay? But both of you are telling me bits and pieces. She says nothing else before walking to her car and motioning for you to follow. And you do, slipping into the passenger seat. The two of you ride in near silence, following the sirens all the way out to the farms on the edge of town. Oh my god! No, that's it! This is the end of part 1 of episode 5. Part 2, the chapter's finale, will be releasing next Friday, February 20th. Okay. I'll save. I don't think we can continue, right? Not yet, not yet. Well, we'll see the credits once we get to the end of episode 7, alright? Maybe not right now. Ditchling voice! Oh my god, there's voices for ditchlings? The weird whispering and all that, huh? Feels like we're getting somewhere, but we only have half the episode so far. Some bombs dropped, some confirmations on weird stuff going on in the Forbidden Wing. I thought we wouldn't see Tabby today, because Wayne last episode was all, oh, she'll be busy at the mines, but she's right here. We didn't talk to that many people though. This first half of the episode is it's basically just us talking to Wayne and Tabby, and I do wonder about the potential other routes that could be had here. For alternate choices, I remember we did a little bit of exploration of it in the ending of episode 4 with the Stella romance route, but other than that, I've been trying to stay on a single path here. Not because I'm not curious about the other content, it's more that I think it's gonna be an endless rabbit hole I'll never be able to stop looking at. I think, starting from here on, things are gonna rapidly start branching out because we're getting very, very close to the ending here. There's only one more release, with episode 6 and 7 coming out together, and yeah. We'll have to wait till part 2 to see what happens first. Nice to get a heart-to-heart with Tabby here, but we haven't even had the big explosive stuff happen yet. What's gonna happen at the farms? Well, we'll see when we come back in just a few days. If you're playing this right now, you can feel free to share with me what's going on in your playthroughs. I've heard there's quite a few different possibilities already. See you back here very, very soon.